We'll be sharing our full thoughts for this side trip on the Great Loop.
And just take our time with it. Ugh. Not my favorite time cruising. I've like contemplated pulling off a couple times. Passing a barge at night. Not things I ever wanted to do. What a day.
Oh my gosh, we're done.
Good job. So this is totally unscripted and the real deal.
Hi, we're Jen, Elliot, and Ollie. In 2019, we left the United States and backpacked through 11 countries, all before deciding to come back home and try something completely new, pivoting into boat life. Our current adventure is America's Great Loop, a 6,000-mile journey through small towns, big cities, and the wilderness from the eastern portion of the United States, through the Great Lakes and Canada, and down the Midwest rivers, all aboard our home on the water, Pivot. Make sure you subscribe as we share our journey through the highs, lows, and everything in between.
Let's go for a walk. 1, 2. Go walk, come on.
Let's woo, Ollie.
Good morning.
From Clarksville, Tennessee.
Today is our last cruise on our side trip to Nashville. We will be heading back into the Kentucky Lakes region, Barkley Lake in particular.
And back onto the main track for America's Great Loop.
We have a very long day today. It's 77 nautical miles, roughly. So we are going to be enjoying this current as we're going downstream.
Stay tuned to the end of the video where we'll be sharing our full thoughts for this side trip on the Great Loop.
But I think I'll do stern last, and then I'll give you a push off right at the stern.
So now I did over to the right, so now I have to go over to the left one more time. And now I should be somewhat centered. So now I can get forward a little bit.
Go on your bow to see where your wheel really is. So your bow's going to the right. Good job.
Getting on and off the dock may look easy to some of you now, but that's only because we've done it maybe like 100 times, and we've done it basically every single day, or like in theory like doing the loop every single day, maybe not docking every single day, but we've done it on repeat for such a long time. It just becomes more natural, or it becomes easier. It is not easy for me, and I am still learning. I'm just a different type of person than Elliot, so I prefer the conditions to be very calm and not challenging for me to gain my confidence just slowly and kind of build off of that.
That's right. Good job.
So that's what we did today.
Day and night, the world is noisy, and that's alright. Every sound is just a beat of the natural rattle. So unwind and don't unravel. We can't help but be a little fragile through the clouds.
Right ahead of us is the Cumberland River ferry, car ferry, and this is the only ferry that we've seen so far on the Cumberland River, and we really have to be aware of it because it really does go back and forth non-stop. And pivot is very slow. We defer to others. So what we typically do is we bring it a little bit out of speed and we wait for it to do one more crossing and then we go around it. So, because it's running all the time, just kind of just take our time with it. Do you concur?
We've made it back to Lake Barkley, which is a good sign because that's kind of where we're ending tonight, but we still have quite a ways to go. It is almost noon, so I'm gonna get ready for some lunch. We are currently passing the anchorage that we stayed at on our way to Nashville. And it was a great little spot, very deep, but it was off the channel, which was super important, so that way we didn't have to worry about the barges at night.
We are passing our first barge in a pretty long time. He was very friendly and he was giving us a wave, which is always nice.
You know, we don't have AIS, so I can't really look them up easily unless I use like an app, which there are apps for that. So typically what we do is we take our binoculars, or we even just use our zoom lens. Sometimes we snap a photo, we zoom in on the name, and then in this case I just hailed him. I said MV Alabama, and he said yes. So, and if you don't know what the 1 and 2 are, the 1 and the 2. So I'm seeing him on the 2. Simple as that. Today's cruise has really been unique for us because we are cruising through waters that we cruised through before. Since buying Pivot, we bought Pivot for the Great Loop. So the vast majority of our cruising has been on new territory because every day you're going somewhere new. And it's just a very different feeling, you know, like we have the track that we went through previously, so it's one less thing to think about while cruising. There's also, you know, it's in some ways less exciting because it's not new, but it's just different, and variety is the spice of life, and we're enjoying it nonetheless. Looking like we are going to arrive to our destination after dark, like an hour after sunset. So Jen, starting dinner. I knew it was going to be an 11-hour cruise, and since the days are getting shorter, we needed to leave at dawn or kind of first light-ish, and we ended up leaving an hour after dawn. So that's kind of why we're arriving an hour after sunset. We just left a little late. There are still a bunch of anchorages we could go to, but we've already cruised through this area, so we kind of want to move on and get into the new cruising, get into the more areas of the loop. So we're going to push it a little bit further, but the good thing is that we have our tracks. So most boats and most boating software has the ability to record your breadcrumbs or your tracks. So like literally we have the line where our boat went through previously. So we're going to go to an anchorage that we went to when we first came through Barkley Lock, and in fact that's kind of funny because we got in at dark, right after dark too, that time. So maybe it's a common theme with this anchorage. But anyway, we're gonna follow our tracks, that way we don't have to worry about hitting things or going outside the channel or anything like that.
dinner I am making some instant pot like mushroom risotto. So I know it's not like typical because typically it's cooked on the stovetop really low and slow. We're doing an easier version tonight, and I prepped all my ingredients, and since we're not getting in until like dark, we're getting hungry, we might as well just cook and eat and not be hangry when we're anchoring.
That smells so good. It's like coming through the entire cabin right now.
It smells so good. Oh my gosh. Sad that our video that we're trying to get released, there's been like one issue after an issue after an issue after an issue with it. But that's okay because we have a delicious meal. If it tastes half as good as what it smells, I think it's gonna be great. So, put the final things in, which is some spinach, some peas, and some Parmesan. And we're gonna be eating very soon. I am so excited for this meal because it is getting, it's not even that late, it's like 5:30. But I am so hungry, and I think Elliot is too. So we had a salad for dinner, a salad for lunch.
We worked out yesterday.
And we worked out yesterday. So the Pivot crew is a bit hungry. There are mushrooms, peas, and spinach in the risotto, and it's super creamy because of the cheese and the butter. It looks really good.
Even though we don't enjoy cruising at night for obvious reasons, especially on the rivers, cruising at this time of day is just so beautiful. It's a crisp breeze, birds are flying, a few boats have passed us just trying to get back to their home port for the evening, and just the water is super calm. It's beautiful.
So we have Pivot, we have a Barge, we have an almost new moon.
Yes.
Got the captain.
Not my favorite time cruising. I've like contemplated pulling off a couple times, and if we didn't have our tracks, we definitely would have. And as soon as we kind of decided to keep going, we heard a barge was leaving Barkley Lock coming up to Cumberland, and it's right here. So I already hailed him, told him we'll see him on the one. So we're going nice and slow. We're gonna pass port to port, and but we have a spotlight on Pivot, so we just aimed the spotlight to the next marker. It's kind of intimidating.
Like Elliot said, it's not our favorite time to cruise, but oh, and the Barge is using their spotlight to like kind of find us. So you know, we're all just doing our best here.
They have two spotlights.
They do have two spotlights. I'm glad they have two spotlights.
Passing a barge at night. Not things I ever wanted to do on the windy barge to come to the river.
But here we are.
And here we are.
Oh, stress.
Well, we have pretty much come to the end of our cruise today. We have not very much left, just gotta hug this last corner. Got Barkley Lock right there. Came in while sunset last time. Now we're coming in after dark. Ollie, you ready? What a day.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
we're
my
done.
God. Good job. We are officially finished with the Nashville side trip, and it was a lot of fun. We've decided that we're going to postpone our judgment of the side trip until tomorrow morning, so that way we have a clean mental state. We're pretty tired. It was very exhausting driving at night. So we're gonna sleep on it and then give you guys
cruising for 11 hours.
Oh yeah, and that too.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 12 hours.
12
for
hours.
Almost. It was like 11 and a half. So,
Yeah.
So we'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. It has been 3 days. We decided to stay here and work. So we haven't moved at all. And we have not really discussed what the Nashville trip meant to us. So this is totally unscripted and the real deal.
So the Nashville trip can be done in approximately between like 2, 3 to 4 days, depending upon the speed of the boat and depending upon how fast you want to go. There's really only one small town stop in between Kentucky Lake and Nashville, and that's Clarksville. And besides that, it's 140 nautical miles. It took us 11 days because we spent several days on anchor working. We could not get into the downtown marina in Nashville that we wanted to for the weekend. There was a football game going on, and also just because it's Nashville, it's a big city. So it took us quite a bit longer there and back, but overall we had an excellent experience.
I would definitely do the Nashville side trip again on a future loop. Nashville is a world-class city. It's, you know, there's a lot of things to do, a lot of really good food, and it's beautiful, and you're docked right downtown. So that alone made the side trip worth it.
And I also really enjoyed Clarksville. It was small, quaint, it was walkable. They had the great pedestrian bridge that led you into downtown. They had a variety of restaurants downtown, a park. Additionally, Clarksville had one of the most affordable prices for dockage that we've seen on the Great Loop. We paid $25 for one night, and that came out to be 50 cents a foot plus $8 for electricity. Granted, we have 30 amp power, but that was excellent. And it did not have water, but still, like, it was adjacent to downtown, walkable, had a great park, a river walk park right next to it. Really enjoyed it.
And we also had one of our most beautiful anchorages on the entire loop, which was right after the Cheatham Lock down the Harpeth River.
Yeah.
And like that anchorage also was amazing. And it was one of those things that I marked it on the charts as like a possible anchorage, but until we got there, we didn't realize how beautiful it actually was. And for that reason alone, like, it was worth it.
Yeah, and that anchorage had dog access for us to take Ollie out, as well as great protection from the wind. So it really had all the things that we look for in an anchorage.
All in all, it was a pretty easy trip to Nashville. The channel was nice and deep, very well marked. There wasn't hardly any debris in the channel. There was some barge traffic, so that was something that we had to watch out for, and only one lock. So all in all, like, there were enough anchorages, a couple really nice spots, one lock. The current wasn't too fast in either direction.
We really enjoyed it, and we loved spending our 2 nights in Nashville. We wish we had more time to explore, but we'll just have to come back one day.
If you guys have any questions about the Nashville side trip, just leave them in the comments below and we'd be happy to answer them.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Alright, let's go for a cruise.
Go for a cruise. Up, 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 up.
Good job, babe. Alright, I'm gonna take a nap now.
No, you're gonna go do the lines now. Go outside and
I don't
keep-
do lines. I can't.
Okay, you need to. I'm gonna teach you how to do lines, and you're gonna
Here's
do
the
the
thing.
lines.
I can do the lines, and I'm happy to do the lines, but when I do the lines, Jennifer redoes the lines because they're not up to snuff.
No, so you don't do the lines up to
That's what I'm
snuff.
trying
That's
to
the
say.
problem. That's the problem. You don't do the lines up to snuff. So you need to learn how to do the lines up to snuff.
I'll go for it.
No, 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 no. What you need to do is you need to come over here and I'll tell you how to do it. Bring one line at a
Oh
time.
my goodness. You're
One
a tough
line.
teacher, eh?
I'll see you on the 2, if that's alright with you. Sun is setting in 22 minutes, so we'll have about 52 minutes left of sunlight, and we have about an hour and a half left. Finishing up this side.
Seaside Trip Ride.